All right, so what we're going to be doing today is making a Thanksgiving tube turkey. Let's see, mine fell on the floor. Ta-da! So we're going to be making a simple tube, a little open and shut beak, and making our hands into the tail feathers. So we're going to need 2 sheets of paper, some crayons or other materials to color with, a pair of scissors, and some kind of adhesive, so something like glue or tape or a glue stick, whatever works for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our papers and turn them sideways. We're going to fold both of them in half from one side to the next. So I'm going to hold my paper down with my hand. I'm going to do it one at a time. I grab this side and just gently roll it over until the edges match up. Press down with my fingers, and then just get it nice and crisp. I'm going to use the back end of my thumb to seal that fold. So I've got one folded in half like a book, and I'm going to do the same with the next one. So one half of this is going to be our turkey's body. So I'm going to choose to color it the traditional brown. It doesn't have to be brown, you can do whatever you would like, but I'm going to go with just the regular brown. Now my favorite tool for this part is actually a busted up little brown crayon with no wrapper left on it. You can pinch it between your fingers like this and rub, and you'll be able to color a large amount of space in a short amount of time. Whoops. Now, of course, if you work from the inside and go towards the outside, you avoid your paper crumpling up like mine did. And then, of course, we can go a little crazy on the inside parts later. Oops. Crayons get really little. Right, so I have my half of my paper colored in brown, and then I have one extra part. This extra part is what we're going to use for our beak. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along the fold here to make my body. My scissors are luckily very sharp, so I was able to glide through. Now we're going to turn this into a cylinder or a tube. And so we're going to flip it over. The way I like to do this is by putting my hand in the middle and just rolling this over. If you look at it from the side, it should look like the letter J, but I'm rolling it gently so I don't get any folds or creases here. Now when it's rolled over, you can just gently slide your hand out. And right along the edge is where we want to put our glue. So it doesn't matter what kind of glue you're using, but if you are using liquid glue like me, you'll usually hear your teachers say dot, dot, not a lot, or just a dot, not a lot. And the reason for that is because the little dots, you can barely see them, dry a lot faster than if you put a glob of glue. So it might seem like you want more glue, but the less glue, the faster it's going to absorb and hold. So I'm going to hold this here, and then I just roll this side right on over, and I hold it from both sides. I like to put my thumbs on top and my fingers inside of my cylinder. Or another thing you can do is slide your hand inside and just press it down on the table. You want to hold that for about 10 seconds so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when we let go, ta-da, we have our wonderful tube for our tube turkey. To make the beak, we're going to use the extra half of that paper. And I'm going to go ahead and make my beak orange for this one. In the corner, I'm just going to draw a small square. Color that in. Oops. Doesn't have to be a perfect square. And it doesn't have to be very big either. I've accidentally made some super big turkey beaks and they look really funny. So once you've colored this in, we're going to take our corner and just kind of try and fold it up to the other edge of our square. It's going to give us a nice little triangle that we're going to cut out. Just one snip here, one snip there. And since the color's on the inside, we're going to flip that around. So I opened it and I fold it right back. This is going to be the perfect little open and shut beak for our turkey. So add little drops of glue. Slide my hand in the top just so it's easy to hold it nice and flat. And I'm going to put that right down there. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this one's hard because we're putting something flat on a cylinder. And there I have my little mouth. So the last thing we're going to do is take our other folded paper and open it up. We are going to color the entire inside of this because this is going to be our tail feathers. Use whatever color you would like. I'm just going to go kind of crazy real quick. I'm going really fast just so you can see what it's going to look like. I'm picking orange. Let's see, what other colors do I have? That's kind of a fun blue. Now, I also don't have a smooth table because I have a lot of craft junk that's on here. So you'll see that texture or the way that something looks like it feels in here. You'll see the texture of that in my artwork. And let's go with the colored pencil, why not? So we're coloring the whole paper so when we cut out our hand shape, we'll make sure that we're not missing any spots. And there we go. I've got my nicely colored paper. I'm going to close it back up. So I just fold it shut. And then I'm going to draw my hand on here. Now the coolest thing is going to happen in just a second because we're going to cut our artwork while holding it shut. That's actually going to have us cut through 2 pieces of paper at one time, giving us 2 perfectly symmetrical hands. So I'm holding my paper really tightly and making sure that I'm cutting through both sides, okay? I like to cut from fingertip to fingertip and then come back later for the middle parts of the finger. Just makes it a little easier. Don't rip it too hard. Boop. All right. And since I held my paper together like a little sandwich, I can open it up and see my 2 perfectly replicated symmetrical, so the same on both sides, hands. I'm going to put a few dots on the pinky and lay one pinky on top of the other to make the turkey's tail feather fan. And finally, I'm going to put, I like to do a little kind of like a shoelace zigzag on here because the body's kind of big. And then I'll lay my turkey down. Now you want to make sure there's a little extra space at the bottom because otherwise if your turkey is up too high, the hands can make them fall over and it doesn't work out so well. So I'm going to hold this for that 10 seconds. And then when I'm done, I'll be able to decorate it however I would like. You can add eyes, you can draw wings on there if you would like, you can attach stuff to it, you can decorate it however you would like, but by the time we're done, we will have a stand-up cylinder turkey that you can use for Thanksgiving. Enjoy!